I took a bit longer with my PlayStation Portal review than I would have liked, but I just had so many questions. This is a remote player for your PS5, a cloud-only device, yet it's missing key features like a web browser. It's recommended for home, but I wanted to test just how portable this thing was and took it everywhere, like the barbershop. It has a headphone jack, but you can't pair your regular Bluetooth headphones to it. Also, Sony has a pricey cloud streaming tier with PlayStation Plus Premium, but you can't even access it directly from this device. You'd have to stream the game to your PS5 and then stream your PS5 to this device like some sort of cloud streaming inception. This is a very niche product, and we have to ask, who is it for? Just how portable is this thing actually, and is it worth your money? Hello world and all who inhabit it, it is I the Great Saiyaran, and ever since the PlayStation Portal was announced, everyone has been complaining about it. Be sure to get subscribed because even after this video, I want to talk about this thing a little bit more. I personally use the Remote Play app on my iPhone with my Backbone controller often and have several videos on the channel mentioning that and other cloud/remote play options. I think it's cool and have since I first got my PS5. This product is for me. I'm the target audience, but my use case might not necessarily be yours. I've struggled when thinking about why anyone else would want this product or want to spend the money. Maybe if you could run another instance of the PS5 on it so that one person is playing the actual console and then the other person is playing a virtualization of that console on this device. But once again, that's very complex and niche. Before we get into the nitty gritty, I do want to say this device is not competing with the Switch, so please stop bringing it up. The Switch is its own dedicated console that can play games physically and digitally, has its own chipset, and honestly is way more portable. This is not a replacement for that. Also, this isn't meant to be a PSP or test the waters to see if we actually want a PSP. Sony knows that the Switch, Steam Deck, and many other handhelds exist. They know the market is there. They don't need this device to get that information. It's very blatant that handhelds work. Also, y'all didn't buy the last PSP. The games that came to it were half-assed delayed ports, and while it may be more powerful than the Switch, it's not going to be PS5 level, and those compromises people love to rag on the Switch for would come to that device in a similar way. Oh, and there's no way Sony will let you buy a game on your PS5 and play it natively on your PSP. They just remastered a 2020 game. Be for real. The build of the PlayStation Portal is pretty nice. I expect a high quality build from Sony, even if their designs might not be the most attractive. PlayStation 5 Slim. Excuse me. This is exactly what it looks like, a PS5 DualSense split in half by an 8-inch LCD Full HD screen. I'm actually very impressed with this screen. Here is a side-by-side comparison of Sea of Stars, a beautiful JRPG-inspired indie game and one of my personal favorites of the entire year on both the Nintendo Switch OLED and the LCD panel that Sony has in their Portal. I don't think the screen quality is bad at all, but the stream makes it look a lot worse than it actually is. When navigating the very limited and basic UI, you see just how crisp this screen can be. I'd love to watch YouTube or Netflix via a browser on this thing, or be able to try other browser-based cloud streaming applications like Game Pass, but I'm sure Sony knew that, and that's why they didn't put one on here. Compared to other devices I keep in my bag like the Backbone or my Switch, this is worlds more ergonomic. I don't think the DualSense is the best controller in the world, but to be this portable device's main interface, it's a dub. The weight and feel of the controller is still there, and so is all the tech when playing games like Marvel Spider-Man 2 or Tales of Arise. I can feel all the haptic feedback as if I was sitting in my gaming chair in front of my PS5 at home. The Remote Play app on my phone tries to mimic some of the vibrations along with the Backbone, but obviously it can't do what a dedicated controller can. The buttons feel the exact same quality since you're using the same DualSense, but I'm concerned that stick drift can be an issue. My original white DualSense controller that came with my launch PS5 actually got stick drift, so I had to switch to this black one, but I haven't had many issues out of it. Stick drift in the DualSense is hit or miss, but I'd hate for it to hit sooner since I doubt Sony would do anything to repair or provide replacement parts for this device. And that's something to note with an all-in-one device like this from a company like Sony. The speakers on this thing are pretty good too. Rarely do I have it at 100%, but here's a clip of me playing it outside with the speakers at max volume.
Hope the other Spider-Man appreciates what you do. He totally does. He's cool like that.
This thing needs a case. It comes in this box and I've basically been using it as a carrying case until I decide to buy one off Amazon for like $30. But with the screen this big and fragile, I would definitely go ahead and budget for one. If Sony had offered a bundle straight for them, I 100% would have bought it. I am always on the go between work and my two kids, so throwing things in my bag is my jam, but this, it's a little risky. Speaking of being on the go, let's talk portability. Like I said, without a case, this thing is pretty fragile. The same as something like a Nintendo Switch or your cell phone. I would have loved a bundle like the Steam Deck did, or even for Sony to sell a case separately, but again, they really don't want you to take this outside and recommend this for home use, so maybe a case muddies that point. I've taken my PlayStation Portal everywhere, from work to the barbershop to just chilling in my car. Even with varying internet speeds, it doesn't seem to be all that laggy. Now my PS5 is getting around 750 megabits down and about 8 megabits up. Wait, what? Why the hell does Spectrum suck so bad, bro? Like, just give me a decent upload speed. What are we doing? Anyway, those are my internet speeds on Ethernet. At my job, it's about 400 down and up, and at the barbershop, it was about 60 and 40. When on my mobile hotspot, it's about 37 down and like 0.16 up, but the PlayStation Portal was still playable when I was out and about. I don't frequently sit inside places like Starbucks or McDonald's, but I will note that since this device doesn't have a browser, you can't accept the terms and conditions required for you to use it at places like that with public Wi-Fi. I'm usually at local coffee shops and they don't have those requirements. It's just a regular guest network with speeds fast enough to remote play. Having a dedicated device for remote play is pretty cool and practical. For me, I love portable devices, so being able to play some of my favorite console games while I'm away from home is very enticing. But I don't know if you would find value in that beyond the coolness factor, which will eventually wear off after 1 week. Again, for me, I play a lot of games and I play them for content and for pleasure. Having this device means I can play more and maybe not be as overwhelmed when a million games drop back to back. I can go outside and touch grass while beating some RPG ass. It's a win for me, but outside of me, who would this be for? If you're the average Joe who likes the idea of remote play but have never really gotten into it, don't buy this device. This is a $200 investment into a scene that you don't even know if you really like. Honestly, go get the PlayStation Edition Backbone controller linked below, pull out your phone, and use that for a week. If you love it, return it for the PlayStation Portal. If you like it, stick with the Backbone. And if you end up not using it much, forget everything you heard me say about this device. It has some pros, but I can't say that it outweighs the con. Do me a favor and save your money unless you're certain that you love remote play, or at least are curious enough to not be mad if you end up hating this thing. It could be a cool collectible, I guess. I just don't know who this device is for. The average gamer probably doesn't even know remote play is a thing, and if they do, they probably would rather get a controller for their phone that can use for other games like COD Mobile or Genshin Impact or Game Pass if we're still talking about cloud gaming. The utility there is leaps and bounds over this dedicated, ecosystem locked, no Bluetooth having, no web browser using, no app store loading, no emulation doing, no PlayStation Plus premium cloud game streaming device. Now, will some people like me overlook that and really enjoy this device? Absolutely. This is the niche of niche products, and I'm really confused as to why PlayStation made this, even though I'm in the niche. Is it perfect? Hell no, but it could be perfect for you. At the end of the day, I'm here to tell you my experiences and whether or not I can recommend a product like this. Minimal but present lag, a very comfortable hold, and a great screen gives me another option of how I want to play games I'm spending my hard-earned cash on. But the lack of basic features like Bluetooth or a web browser and the limited utility with the lack of PS-supported apps like YouTube and Netflix makes this a really cool product, but overall a misstep if they were looking to sell millions of these, especially at $200. I can't recommend this to the majority of people, but I can recommend something like the Backbone or the Turtle Beach Atom, which I reviewed recently on the channel. Be sure to check out that video, and also be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.